Can you please do a Monarch deck profile? I really want to play them and I have no idea where to start. If you do it, I'll dick slap the like button a billion times.
Ask and you shall receive.
YugiNoNo! Alright guys, real quick before we get into this deck profile, I really just wanted to show off this box that a fan made me. It is really cool. He handmade this. He burnt in, this Relinquished, which is one of my favorite monsters of all time. And it actually has plenty of room in it for my dice, my wooden dice. And, the wooden box matches my wooden dice that I use, which is really cool. And I keep just random, Yu-Gi-Oh stuff you guys have sent me in here. And then it has room for two, full double deck boxes. So this is just really sweet. I wanted to show that off again because I wanted to give double credit where credit is due. This is amazing. But now let's get into this deck profile. I'm really excited to show you guys this because I think this is the least bricky Monarch variant that I have made since they got the Banhammer, which is a lot to say, especially because I even made this, brick red because this deck is just so bricky. But I will say that this is the least bricky version of this deck that I have made, once again, since they got hit on the ban list. And as you guys all know, I just refuse to put this deck down, very similar to Cyber Dragons, because this is one of my favorite decks of all time. I had topped several times back in the day when this deck was at full power. I was actually one of the first players, believe it or not, back in the day to side, like 3 Trap Eaters and, eat up those Massive Restricts, but that's a story for another time, guys. Let's go ahead and get into the deck profile. So starting off with the monsters, this is Ether, I don't care either way you say it, it does not really matter, but this, lets you send 2 Monarch spells or traps and summon another Monarch from the deck, usually Karaz, so you can pop 2 cards and then draw 2. This also summons itself on your opponent's turn. You combo this with Monarch Stormforth. This is probably the one I always search for off of return, like always, unless I need to out something, and then of course I search the Erebus, but you actually use this to kind of proxy search Erebus as well, because you summon out the Erebus with this chick, she's a girl. No, because, at the end phase, the monster you get out with Ether, comes back to your hand, so that's how you can kind of proxy search, Erebus, and then Erebus is probably the best card in the deck now. I mean, Ether is really good, but Erebus, it's a non-targeting spin, and it sends, Monarch spells and traps, just like Ether. It's really good, so these are the best 4 Monarchs still. I mean, just like always, not much has changed there. We don't want those bricks. We do not want those bricks, so we play 3 Karaz, guys, 3 Karaz, because you pop 2 cards on your side of the field, and you get to draw 2 cards. You can also use this against your opponent, although I don't recommend it, but usually when you have to use this against your opponent, you're in a losing position, and then you're just letting them see cards from their deck. But you have to do what you have to do. This deck is not as good as it once was, for sure, so I do find myself every now and then, popping my opponent's cards with Karaz, but that is just because it is not as good as it once was, once again. And then next up, you play a beer. So what this does is once you draw it, it gives you that liquid courage. That's exactly what it does. It gives you that liquid courage, and usually, when I top deck this card, I win. Every time I top deck beer, I win every single time. And then you play 3 Vanity's Fiend, because this is a win condition, because you cannot special summon cards. People ask me, why don't you play Majesty's Fiend? Majesty's Fiend can be searched off of return of the Monarchs. That is very true. But Vanity's Fiend, you can't search it, and so that's why I play 3 of it. And I think it's just a better card than Majesty's Fiend. This is just an auto win button against so many decks and so many situations. It's just an auto win, and that's why I play 3 of this and don't play any Majesty's Fiend. Back in the day, though, I did side a Majesty's Fiend back in the day. Yeah, against I think against Cosmos and stuff. I sided 1, and I think I only sided 1 or 2 because you could search it off of return, of course. But yeah, and I didn't side Vanity's Fiend back in the day. Back in the day, you didn't even need to play this card. You really didn't need to, because this deck was just the tits. It was the best deck in Yu-Gi-Oh for a bit. This and the extra deck version of it were just bonkers. They were so good. But then the last big monster I play is Thessalos. Thessalos lets you see your opponent's hand and snipe a card out of your opponent's hand, which really comes in handy. One thing I want to note about Thessalos, though, is that I keep going back and forth between Maxi and Thessalos. Every now and then I'll side this or side what's his dick? The Mega Zaborg. So the Mega Zaborg I will side every now and then because it's fun, you know, it's not really like super optimal, but it's really, really fun. I mean, it doesn't hurt to side it, but I just keep going back and forth because Maxi is just such a powerful card. This card needs to be banned. Like, this card will be banned. It really, really will be. It is way too strong. But yeah, so right now I'm siding Maxi, but I do find myself maining it. So that's the point I'm trying to make here. And yeah, I'll get to the side deck in a minute though. I am siding the Maxi. And in this build, guys, I really wanted to play Gofu while we still can before Lace come out because this card busts links wide open. And why this is so good is because, of course, you can summon, you know, Karaz, then pop your tokens and then draw off of that. So it's just free pluses. And this card, you know, it's just, I mean, you can even sit behind the tokens technically. It's just free bodies on the field to absorb blows, you know, except for stuff that inflicts piercing damage, of course. But Blackwing Gofu, the Vague Shadow, really, really good card, and it's a dark target for Allure of Darkness. Total, I play, I think there's 11 dark targets in the deck for Allure of Darkness, which is why I call this the least bricky version of this deck because of Allure of Darkness. Allure of Darkness saves your ass. You don't even know, it saves your ass so well. But I play 3 Adia, the Heavenly Squire. So this is your light monster. This summons an Eidos from the deck, gives you a second normal summon. This is like the best little guy. People, I like to play, what's the card? Mithra. People like to play Mithra. I never played Mithra back in the day when this deck was really, you know, when this deck was the best deck. I never played it. You didn't really need it, and I swear by this lineup, Mithra is a really good card. It gives your opponent a token, and then when you tribute summon it, you get to tribute summon a second time. So that is really good with Thessalos and Erebus because you get to rob 2 cards out of your opponent's hand. But like I said, sometimes I take the Thessalos out. You know, I mean, I take this out and I don't even play it. So yeah, you can't really double combo. You know, if you don't have like Thessalos and Erebus or whatever. So I just like this lineup the best. I really, really do. Karaz and Gofu really unbrick you as well. So to each their own though. Mithra is a really good card. I'm not shit talking that card whatsoever. It is a really, really good card in this deck. But yeah, it's just to each their own, like I was saying. But that is all the monsters. That is 19 monsters. All right, so for the spells, for the non-monarchs, you play this lineup right here. You know, the best beginning 5 for any monarch deck. So let me explain all this here. I'll explain all the non-monarch spells all at once. Reinforcement of the army searches Adia. You know, like I was explaining, that's your light little one, and that gets Eidos from your deck and lets you normal summon again. Then 1 for 1 lets you get a double normal summon. You summon Adia from the deck, and then that summons an Eidos from the deck, then you get 2 normal summons. So 1 for 1 is really, really, really good in certain situations. And then it also, you know, gets rid of dead Gofus and stuff in your hand when you don't go first and stuff, as well as Allure of Darkness. Allure of Darkness also gets rid of those dead Gofus and stuff for you, and it'll let you dig through your deck and unbrick yourself. Foolish Burial is also a very, very good unbricking card, and so is Foolish Burial of Goods. These are really, really good for unbricking because this can send your Erebus, and then you can like pitch Prime from your hand, for example, and get the Erebus back to your hand. So yeah, these 2 are really, really good. And then this can pitch a Prime, pitch Frost Blast, which I am playing, and most importantly pitches Pantheism. So Pantheism banishes itself from the graveyard, reveals 3 monarch spells, and then lets you pick one, or spells or traps, sorry, and let your opponent pick one, and then, you know, but usually you pick 3 of the same thing, like 3 domain, for example, so it doesn't matter what your opponent picks. And then Upstart Goblin, because 39 card deck technically, and then Allure of Darkness. Allure of Darkness really, like I was saying, really helps unbrick you. I find myself banishing Vanity's Fiend a lot. I really do, because like when I'm already on a roll and I'm already really drawing good with the deck, you really don't need Vanity's Fiend. Vanity's Fiend is just there because it's like really, really good. But I find you really want to banish your Gofus. So you have 11 targets total because you have your 3 Erebus, you have your 3 Vanity's Fiend, your 3 Gofus, and then your 2 Eidos. You know, 2 Eidos, but you really don't want to banish your Eidos. You really, really don't. And people do play 3 Eidos. Sometimes I feel like taking out the Thessalos for a 3rd Eidos. I really do. But to the Monarch spells, you play 3 Domain because, you know, it's just so good. Like, your opponent cannot summon from the extra deck. This bumps your monsters down to 1 tribute. And there are times where I will, you know, like activate this, bump, you know, Erebus down to a level 6, then activate another one, bump it down to a 4, and then like normal summon it for a free 28 beater. Well, not not free 28 beater because you know you had to sacrifice one of your domains, but you have to do that kind of crap sometimes. So don't forget like some of the more obscure plays in this deck because you know those kind of old school Monarch pro plays can really really help you out. But I play 3 Return of the Monarchs because this lets you search when you tribute summon a monster, and then it's just free pluses. This card just keeps giving you pluses like every time you tribute summon. It's really good. And then Tenacity of the Monarchs, which might be the new best card in the deck. And why I say that is because it searches Stormforth. Like you reveal a Monarch in your hand, and then you get to search a Stormforth, and then out anything. Like it's so good. And then Pantheism. Then you have Pantheism is like another one of the best cards. Like because he lets you draw and it lets you search. But then Monarch Stormforth, because it's Monarch Stormforth. And then you have Frost Blast because this card's really fun. It gives you so many pops, for opponent spells and traps. I can't tell you how many times I've hit like a Solemn Warning or a Solemn Strike with this. It's really good. Maybe I'm just really lucky with this deck. I have no idea. But then the Prime Monarch, you guys. So I only play 2. And back in the day, I was only playing 2. Actually, no, maybe I was playing. I think I went back and forth between 2 and 3. I really like Frost Blast. I didn't like Frost Blast as much back in the day, but I like it now because Zoo playing like Solemn Strikes and stuff. It's just stupid. So I don't like Solemn Strikes. You don't want those Solemn Strikes because Solemn Strike on your normal summon of a Dia and you lose. Like you literally lose going second when you normal summon that idea and they strike it. That ends your turn. That ends your turn immediately. It's good because that's your one normal summon and you're done. Yeah, guys, that really ends your turn. So Frost Blast of the Monarchs. If you Foolish Goods this, somehow and you already have like a Monarch spell in your grave, this could really, it really helps. It really helps. So maybe not going second most of the time. You can't get this in the grave fast enough, but this really does help, in a lot of situations. Nevertheless. All right, guys. So onto your side deck. Of course, you play Maximilian Pegasus. You have to play Maximilian Pegasus, but 3 Flying C for Pure Zoo because everyone's playing Pure Zoo. Because if you did not see the new, European, WCQ, everyone's deck is so dumb. It needs to be banned, like completely banned. But this might be the best side against it because they can't XC summon. They normal summon Momarat, you just go bam, whatever. Can't XC summon. This kind of stops them in the tracks. I mean, they do have ways to get rid of Flying C, but whatever. It's Flying C. You might as well play it. But Artifact Lancia against Invoke shenanigans. Plus, you can normal summon this. You can tribute summon for this. It's only 1,700, but you can tribute summon for it. So that's pretty good. You can get that domain lock with the Lancia. But this really hurts Invoke shenanigans because they activate the invocation and then you send this. They're left holding their dick. What do I do? They can't really do anything. DD Crow against Zoo and just anything. DD Crow is DD Crow. Plus it's another dark target. This is a dark target for Allure of Darkness. So this is actually a really good side deck card. I actually like siding this in a lot because if I don't need it, Allure of Darkness. So I might bump this up to 3 in this deck. But then the last hand trap is Maxi because like I was saying, you could probably make room for a 3rd Crow by main decking this or something. But yeah, these are the hand traps that I play in the side. You guys' side decks, if you're still playing this deck and trying to win with this deck, good luck to you. I haven't had, all that much luck. I mean, I do get some wins with the deck, but, it's just a fun deck. And this is just a fun, competitive deck. But anyways, guys, so I play the full Kaiju engine, a big guy to give yourself, 2 of the smaller guys, and Kaiju Slumbers because, this is really good against Zoo, blows up their boards, and plus, since you're playing Foolish Burial of Goods, you can technically goods this to the graveyard, and then, on the next turn after it's sent to the graveyard, banish it from the graveyard, and then get a search for any one of these Kaijus. So that's really good. And then I play Twin Twisters because I don't feel comfortable playing a side deck without Twin Twisters or MST or something because it just outs random crap and outs, plus this is really getting at strike. The only thing I don't like and why I don't play more Twin Twisters is it sucks against D barrier, but because they can just chain the D barrier. But the bright side of it is in this deck, you don't care about D barrier. Their D barriers are dead. I mean, what are they gonna call against this deck? I call Fusion, okay. I call Ritual, fine. I call Xyz, fine. You're only hurting yourself, dude. So yeah, playing this deck is really good. because their D barriers are dead. They side out their D barriers because like they can't do anything against Monarchs with D barriers. They suck, you know, they suck. But Soul Exchange, guys, Soul Exchange. I use this to bait out crap. Like, and I got this idea from another Monarch deck profile. I can't remember which deck profile it was, or I would be doing a shout out to them because I like to give credit where credit is due. But I forgot all about this card. Like, even though I play 2002 format and stuff, I dick around 2002 format. You would think that I wouldn't forget that this card exists, but I actually forgot. But yeah, you Soul Exchange, you know, and especially because I play GOAT too. But anyways, you Soul Exchange, and it just baits out crap. They have to negate this, and then it's like a shittier Stormforth. That's what this card is. It's a shittier Stormforth because Stormforth does not target. This does target, and not only does this target, but you cannot conduct the battle phase the turn you use it. So this is, like I said, a shittier Monarch Stormforth, but it does bait out stuff, and it is technically your second Stormforth because we only have one Stormforth, which is so sad. So let's go ahead and pick this up, and let's do some test hands. Let me like pile shuffle, and then let's do some test hands, and I'll kind of show you what I mean. Hopefully we'll draw some Allure of Darkness and stuff, and I can kind of show you what I mean, and hopefully prove to you that this is the least bricky version of the deck in my opinion. Alright, so I guess that's shuffled good enough. Let's go ahead and cut this in half, and then draw some cards and see what we got here. So that is not looking good. That is not looking good at all. But we have the Upstart Goblin, so let's go ahead and activate the Upstart Goblin, and then that's gonna unbrick us right there. So let's go ahead and activate Tenacity, and then that's gonna go ahead and get us, in this case, you'd want the Pantheism, of course, because that's gonna pitch the Prime Monarch to the graveyard and let us see some cards. So you shuffle up real good. I'll go ahead and cut it in half again, and then we'll activate the Pantheism, sending that to the graveyard, drawing 2 cards. Sweet. You gotta go through. So first up, what you're gonna want to do, like, and right here, you're kind of left with a lot of options. You know what I mean? You have no monsters, so well, let's go ahead and get the Pantheism search, because right now, let's go ahead and search for 3 return. I like return because it's gonna give us a search. You know what I mean? It's gonna let us go even more plus. So right now we reveal 3 return to our opponent, and they are going to pick a return, of course, because they have no choice. And then we're going to go ahead and activate return. We're going to activate our Gofu, and we're going to get 2 tokens. Let's just say that is a token, and I don't know, something else. Actually, screw Pegasus. I have some fan-made tokens we'll use. Yeah, I just remember I had these. So yeah, my fans make me tokens and like all kinds of random cards and stuff too. I have the best fans in the whole world, I really do. So right here, you kind of have some options, okay? So either way, you're going to have the domain lock on board, and you can you know, Erebus to rob a card out of your opponent's hand. You can Vanity's Fiend and lock them at a special summoning, or you can Karaz and go super plus. So let's go ahead and I would say, I mean, shoot, let's go ahead and like banish this, get a prime, because why not? I mean, really, why not? I mean, if your opponent like outs the domain, this is gonna go to the grave and give this fuel anyways. So yeah, why not summon that? Let's go ahead and tribute summon our Gofu and summon Karaz. I can't remember if I shuffled, so let's go ahead and shuffle this up again. And then I'll cut it in half. All right, so cut it in half. And then, so this will be Chainlink 2. Oh, wait, why did I shuffle? Why did I shuffle? Because it's Chainlink 2, Chainlink 1, duh. All right, so Chainlink 2, you're gonna search for your Ether, and then Chainlink 1 will resolve. So let's shuffle this up again. Chainlink 1 will resolve, Karaz will pop the tokens, and then you will go ahead and draw 2 cards. So that's really good. So you have an idea for next turn, you have 2 Erebus, like you are all set. You're all kinds of set here. You have domain lock on board, and let's see, so you started with 5 cards, you ended with 5 cards in hand and 4 cards on field. But anyways, guys, that is the entire deck. I really hope that you enjoyed it. I hope that I was able to properly convey what this deck does, and you know, how this deck really isn't as bricky as its reputation, but then again, it kind of is as bricky as its reputation. But anyways, guys, be sure to go ahead and dick slap that like button and subscribe.